Hello everyone at Teach Meet Dorset. My name's Gary Spracklen and I'm really sorry that I can't be with you tonight. I'm actually, as I speak, probably at another meeting at our Osprey Quay campus. Osprey Quay is our new site which is coming on board in September 2013, and tonight we're welcoming some of the parents of the children that will be at this campus in September. Tonight I'd like to share with you a few thoughts that I've had since starting my role as Director of Digital Learning and Innovation at the Academy. But first I just want to start with a disclaimer really, because a lot of the ideas that I'm going to share tonight are not my own. Like all good magpies, I like to steal the best thoughts from lots of different places. And I'm very fortunate that in my current role I'm working with Professor Stephen Heppell as our patron of the Academy. Stephen often talks about the different levels of research that has gone on in the last 30 years, and he often identifies there being three strands within this. You look back at the 1970s when often children were seen as subjects, where things in schools were done to them. So we used to put them in boxes and we used to put them in rows, and we used to ask them to do specific manual tasks. And that was great if they were being prepared for life working in industry or working on a production line. And we've kind of moved away from that, and in the 1990s and to some extent now, we have children as co-constructors, where things are done with them. So we have student councils, we pay lip service to student voice sometimes, but now we're entering this really exciting era where we can really start to develop child-led, where things are done by them and for them. And this is not paying lip service to children's views and learners' views, but actually letting them lead the whole experience. Letting them research, design, develop all by themselves. And a great example of this is actually Stephen's daughter's work, of Juliette Heppell. There's a fantastic iBook available if you've got an iPad or iPhone, called Designing a Learning Space. And its title is When Students Dream of Learning, Just How Good Might That Learning Become? This book was written by Juliette Heppell, and I recommend it to anyone. It's free, just search for it on the iBook store, and there's some fantastic information there about a project, and it's really inspired me to think about how I can move forward in my role at IPACA, and that's why I wanted to highlight it to you all tonight. So I'm just going to show you a little clip from a video that's available online. There's loads of information about Juliette's project online. Just give it a search.
So I've come to Lampton School to look at a classroom that's been designed by the pupils themselves. It's using a lot of technology. They won a competition to come up with their ideas for what would work in a modern classroom. We're going to have a quick look.
Well, basically, this has been a 3-year-long research project where they've taken all the best ideas that are already going on all over the world and pulled the things that they think will be most appropriate for our students in our school into here. So part of that's about the technology, so having iPads and Fizzbooks, which are touchscreen computers, having screens that you can show work on or that can be interactive where you're sharing work or sharing ideas, the walls that you can write on everywhere around the classroom, tables that you can write on everywhere around the classroom. It's all about collaborative work and being interactive and sharing with a critical focus. So it's about building those skills that we know employers ask for time and time again.
So here are the designers, the design team. It might look a bit casual. One of them's got a baby brother with them. Well, they're actually on holiday now because they've just done their GCSEs, but they've come in specially to show us what's going on. So, what's your name?
Adrian.
And tell me a bit about what you've done to this classroom. What's special about this classroom?
I think one special thing about this classroom is the furniture, because the way the tables are arranged allows students to choose how they like to learn. So it could be individual.
Okay, so from that video you can see how learners have really led the experience, and that's inspired me to think, how can I do that on Portland? And there's certain things I've started to do, like the introduction of digital leaders. I ran digital leaders in my last school, at the Prince of Wales First School, and I found that a really exciting way for children to really lead the practice in schools, particularly with digital technology, which I do a lot of work with. It was fascinating watching children lead, for example, staff inset and creating help videos that would go online, and I've shared some of those at Teach Meet before, and just incredibly powerful. And I know that You've got Alan Frame there tonight from Downlands Primary School, and he's going to be sharing some things with digital leaders. So I won't say too much about digital leaders, but from my point of view, in my current role, I found it fascinating having just such a diverse range of ages within digital leaders, and seeing how children as young as 3 right up to 16 can be involved in that process. Edmodo is really important in this. Edmodo, if you don't know, is a kind of educational Facebook, and it's proven really powerful because on Portland I have 130 digital leaders ranging in those ages from 3 to 16, and the only way for me to manage those effectively is through an electronic format, because I can never meet with them on a regular basis across 5 different sites that we have at the moment. So what we do is we set little challenges up on Edmodo, we continuously talk through Edmodo, we set them assignments, we set them quizzes, and it just keeps a community going, and they can then feed into different events when they happen, like some of the things I'm going to show you now. So as well as having digital leaders, we also have learner-led events. So whenever we have a big event, we have children along, not just to show that there's children there, but they're very much involved in the planning of the event, the leading of the event, and also sharing of digital technology in events. So these were our digital leaders that attended our grand opening of Osprey Key, and they were demonstrating things like large touchscreen plasmas, augmented reality displays. They were Skyping with other schools, including Downlands. Alan's pupils joined us on Skype, and that was very much led by them, and that's really exciting. And we've got a chap, actually the chap sitting in the very top left on that picture, he said, I want to Skype my cousin in a school in Charminster, and that's what we did. We set up the link and he was able to speak to his cousin, and it was just a fantastic way of showing visitors and other teachers, colleagues, how digital learning can have such a personal impact, and that's what we're seeking to develop. So as well as those, we also have learner meetings where my aim always when I speak to suppliers is to involve learners as well. So recently, about a month or 2 ago, I took a group of Year 10 leaders up to London. We went to the BT Tower. It wasn't just a sightseeing trip and having burgers at the top, but we also got down to the nitty-gritty of, if BT and IPACA are going to work together, how will we work together best? And it was great because I was just able to step back from the situation and let them really lead. And they'd done research before. They went thinking about how they want to use connectivity to support their learning. And I'm finding this is having fantastic results, really. But fundamentally, this is not just telling children what you want. I want a glitter ball in my classroom because it'll look nice. This is saying to the children and the learners, what will make you learn better? How can your learning be enriched? And that only comes through research. So we've had the children mind mapping. These are children as young as 4 and 5, thinking about what technology will support their learning best. How can they, as digital leaders, guide the future of technology at the academy? And thinking about the risks and rewards of using technology is really important as well. And with older students, looking at clear research into why these things work, speaking to other schools. We've got good links with other schools around the country now, and seeking to develop global links and to explore how do we learn best. And it always comes back to that question of why. Why are we doing this? Can we question everything we do, and can we seek to improve it? So just to finish, really, I've been really inspired by work, and I continue to be, and I think this is something that's only just starting. But in terms of results and what I'm seeing from this, well, the results are in the pudding, really. While you're there, I've already said that I'm at Osprey Key, and 2 weeks ago I stood in front of suppliers and I said to them, I basically shared a lot of what I've said tonight, and I said that our learners are where it's at, and you need to, if you want to be a successful bidder for our systems here at the academy, then you need to show that you're willing to connect with our students, you're willing to build upon the research that they've already done. I said, the most exciting thing we can offer to you as suppliers is our pupils and their knowledge, because they're the ones that are going to use the space, and that's what I'd just like to finish with, really, that the results will be in the pudding. The proof's in the pudding, as they say, and I can't show you our results at the moment because we're still so much yet to go on Portland, but I can share with you that already I've seen that our pupils are insightful. They're bound to be. They're the end user at the end of the day. They are the product experts because they are the learners. They're the ones We're all learners, but they are the ones that will be using these spaces for their deep learning. And I think it's incredibly insightful asking them what they think of things, and not just asking them, but getting them to lead. And this obviously leads to increased engagement. Children are incredibly excited to be asked and to lead on this sort of thing. And once they realise that you are being completely genuine and excited by their thoughts, then that engagement just goes through the roof. Obviously, it supports their reflective practice. It encourages them to be deeper thinkers, and ultimately, it leads them to be inspired. Who knows if we've got the next product designer or FF&E consultant, that's been inspired because they've thought of their spaces and they've got them to think more. It's also inspiring them into their learning more, and ultimately, this is leading to ownership. They know that those spaces are owned by them because they've created them. And I think long term that's going to lead to just increased engagement in all sorts of activities throughout the academy. But do you know what? This is leading to innovation in design. Learners have so many more better ideas than we can. They don't see the same constraints as we do to cost and materials. They think out the box all the time. You don't need to ask them to think out the box; they just do. And you know what? Fundamentally, this is leading to better ideas. You've only got to see the results in Juliette Heppell's book to see that, and I think that is incredibly inspiring and is a really exciting place to be as a teacher. So, as I said, there's still a long way to go for us. Things are continually developing. These are some pictures of what we're hoping our main site will look like at Maritime House. But do you know what? The journey is an exciting one, and I'm so pleased that it's being learner-led, because I know already that as a result of that, we're just going to lead to fantastic outcomes. And I thank you for the opportunity for letting me share this tonight, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much.